Welcome back.
Welcome back.
This, this is the catnip hour.
Yes.
I am Andrea,
I'm also
the short
Andrea.
one.
Yep. Just tall one. Well, semi-tall. 5'7"
Yeah,
and a half, if that's considered tall.
I can't gauge it appropriately. Everything's tall to me. So
That's true. Yeah.
they said I would make 5 foot. They were wrong.
Let's go
They
beat up
being
those
my
doctors.
they being my pediatrician
Yeah.
that looked like a mad scientist. No, he really did.
They have
Just
like crazy hair, glasses.
no, literally, like just picture like the most cartoonish looking version of like a mad scientist. That's what my doctor looked like.
Nice.
Yeah. But anyway, what's the topic today? What are we doing?
Ooh, concerts.
Hell yeah. Live
Um,
music. There's nothing like it. There's
honestly,
truly
I'm
nothing
not.
like it.
See, I like concerts, but I feel like I'm the worst person to go to a concert with because most of the people around you are like dancing and singing, they're getting hype, and I just like being there for the music, so I kind of just stand around and listening when everyone
Mhm.
else is like getting all into it, and I'm like, okay.
I was about to say, well, what are we gonna do in July? We are going to Olivia
Oh,
Rodrigo. I'll
yes.
get you to dance. I'll get you to dance. Don't worry.
All right, all right. Let's get some alcohol
Listen,
first.
you have to listen to. Hey, if you wanna spend the money for the alcohol at that venue, or we could just pregame before we go. I think that's the smarter thing to do.
Yeah, because it's cheap. Free
Yeah.
game. So,
Yeah, it's the way to go. Anyway, so concerts is the topic,
yes.
and what are we gonna start off with? I guess we should start off with,
The very
um,
first one.
mhm, yeah.
All
What's
right.
your what year? Do you remember what year
Oh,
your
God.
first
Let me
concert
see when
was?
it came out. So it's Don't Forget. It's Demi
Yeah.
Lovato's first album. So it came out in
Yes.
2008.
She was in La La Land.
La La Land, yes. I don't remember
This
when
was
the
the remember, this was the discovery that she could wear her Converse with her dress. Remember?
and I still to this day think that's like a great combination and I will probably do
Yeah.
that. But it came out in 2008, so I'm assuming the concert was probably 2009. It's
We were in what?
usually
8th
around
grade? 9th grade? 8th grade.
8th grade.
Yes.
Yes, because oh, if I could find a picture, and I might find one so we can post it at some point. It's really embarrassing because I have like
I
I
need to
just the
find one.
braces. I had braces. My hair looked. I think I straightened my hair, which I didn't need
I
to.
didn't have braces. I had braces way later on.
I
I had
had.
braces when you met me in college.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah, I got them
I
way
think I
too late. But
started in
anyway,
like sixth or seventh grade, and then got them taken out freshman year of high school. So a
that
good few
was the
years.
smartest thing to do. I don't know why I was so delayed, but anyway.
It's but that was the first concert I ever went to. And I was so excited because this is when Demi was starting to become like the biggest star.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah,
when did
this was
Camp
Camp
Rock?
Rock days.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
Camp.
it was around there
Let me see when Camp Rock
because they
came.
used to play would go to, like, commercial, and they would be playing a clip from one of her music videos, like Get Back
Yes. Oh my
or
God.
La La Land.
Yeah, because Camp Rock came out in 2008,
Yeah,
and
and
the
she had
second
similar
one.
hair in that era that she
Yes.
did for Camp Rock, I believe.
And you know what else I remember? One of the things I think it was the camp or the Don't Forget tour, but she was
Mhm.
asking during that who saw Princess Protection Program. And I just remember being so sad because I didn't get a chance to see it yet.
They were like, "I
And
didn't
so when
see
she was like getting all
this."
hype and asking people if they saw it because it just came
Oh
out,
my
I
god.
was like, no. As if she could like hear me.
That's just so funny to, like,
So
picture, like, that's how you knew you were at, like, a Disney concert. They're like, "Who saw Princess
I
Protection
know. Yeah,
Program?"
yeah. And
I'm
of
crying.
course, it's like I'm obsessed
Uh-huh.
with anything
I saw
yeah,
that movie recently, Princess Protection Program,
for the
within,
first
like, the
time.
last, like yes.
It's on for its time, amazing.
It
It's
was pretty
very
wild,
cheesy, but
honestly.
like when in
Yeah.
back in that like 2009 era, like yes, it
Mhm.
was the best.
Yeah, I mean, we had our whole episode, throwback to the one of our first episodes, we had
The
the Disney Channel
decon.
episode.
Yes.
So that was like another like iconic
Yep.
one was Princess Protection Program. Like even though I didn't watch it until very late, I can recognize how iconic it was.
Yes. And then obviously, don't forget you have La La Land, Get Back is
Hmm.
on there,
Yeah,
Trainwreck. Ugh, I loved Trainwreck. And then during the concert, I think is during that era too is when she premiered the song. Was it Here We Go Again?
I think so. I
And
know
that
that's what her
yes.
second album was
Yeah,
called.
so it was like she was working on the second album, so that was coming out around the same time. She was just a massive success back in like the early 2000s, like mid 2000s.
Yeah,
And
the
so
Disney
being
machine.
yes,
Yeah.
so being there at that concert, I was like, this is amazing. And
Were
then
the Jonas Brothers there
nope, but you know
or
who
no?
was? David
Who?
Archuleta. And I think I said that in one of the other episodes, but
Oh.
imagine because David Archuleta again, he was also huge
Mhm.
because it was in the early days of American Idol.
Yeah, when you had to text to vote. I remember
Yeah,
that.
yes, yeah. Mhm.
Mhm.
And then of course his song
Ads were
Crush.
everywhere.
Remember his song Crush? That's the
Mhm.
song that
That was
I
what made him.
yep, and he sang that song.
I think that's the only song I know of him.
It's
I don't know
probably
if
the
there's
only one he's
I'm
ever
sure there's
made.
others.
I don't know.
No, probably an album. Watch, we'll get people in the comments that have
Being like,
like, "Actually?
I'm the biggest
Actually?"
David Archuleta stan. Correction. He has 4
Or no
albums.
disrespect to whatever he calls his fans. I don't know his
Archuleta's? I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
that was probably the coolest thing.
They're his
And
crushes.
yes.
That's what he calls his fans, his crushes.
His crushes. And then every
Mhm.
girl was like, "Oh, I'm
It's
his
me.
crush." It's like when Justin Bieber had one less woman, the girl, and everyone's like, "Oh my god."
Right, and he would bring the girls up on stage,
Yes.
and then he had to, like, stop doing that because everybody was, like, insane.
Yes. So you listened to this album.
Yes.
So
Yes, I have.
what
A
would you
lot back
pick
in the day.
as your favorite song?
La La Land, I used to listen to it all the time.
I
No question.
I don't know. It's a toss up between that and probably Trainwreck.
Mhm.
But don't
Oh, no,
forget,
you
it's
know
just a
what?
classic.
You know what song I used to listen to a lot on that album, actually? On the Line.
No, yep,
That's a really good
yep.
one. I think that's with either
It is, yeah.
it's either Nick Jonas or the Jonas Brothers. I don't know if it
Hmm.
was all of them,
Believe in Me
but
is also a really great one from that album.
mhm.
But La La Land was probably the biggest one. And I just remember, like you said, where like, oh, I can eat McDonald's and I can wear like Converse with my dress. And back then you're like, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
But then you look at it and you're like, it's what most people do. I mean,
Uh,
I guess maybe for that
she
time
was like,
not.
"I'm different." She was like, "I'm different."
I'm different. Let me see if I can find the
No,
lyrics.
what's the, I'm not like other girls.
I'm not like other girls. Yes. Yeah, I'm not a supermodel. I still eat McDonald's. Baby, that's just me.
She rhymes supermodel with McDonald's.
Yes,
Or
because
whoever wrote
that's
that, I'm
just
not sure
her.
if she wrote that or
And
not.
also, she says, like, can I start where I made my name, but everything's the same in a La La Land machine? Huh?
Mhm.
Like, I never
And
understood
I just
that.
said Disney machine. I guess because
I
like,
get, yeah.
I think it was, like, a nod to that, like, La La Land machine, like, Hollywood, that's what they call
Yeah, and then it says, who said I can't wear my Converse with my dress? Nobody. I highly doubt anyone said you can't, but okay. And
It's like,
then,
just in case,
just in case. And
just
then
in
some
case.
say I may need to be afraid of losing everything.
Oh,
And you're like, I, again, highly doubt anyone said that, but it's great.
no, but knowing
Great
maybe
lyric.
what we know about her now,
That's true.
maybe.
That's true.
Think about
She
it.
did go through a lot over her years,
Yeah.
especially during that time.
Mhm.
That was like the peak
That
of,
may have been
yeah,
deeper than we realized at the
yep.
moment.
And I'm not going to change in a La La Land machine. And you're like, whoa.
Well,
Like back then, listening to those lyrics, you're
edgy.
like, damn.
No, I remember she had these, like, um I don't know if it was in I think it was in the Get Back music video, she had, like, gloves that were, like, like, it covered every single finger except for her thumb for some reason. Like, she
Yeah,
had, like, red gloves on.
I gotta look that up
Do you
later,
remember
but I
that?
think yeah, I
Yeah.
think it is that song. It's so
Mhm.
funny.
Or it's like they were either, like, covered all fingers, but, like, they came, like, weirdly across, like, just the front of her palm. Either
Yes.
that or the thumb was out, I can't remember. I just remember it being a weird looking glove that she had
Yes.
on, and it was red.
Yeah,
Red
yeah, I'm
leather.
looking it
It
up.
was edgy.
It is the right gloves, but it's, like,
Uh-huh.
towards the end of the pinky, like, it covers all the hands and the palm, but half
Mhm.
towards the end of the pinky is, like, cut off. So, like, it's
Okay.
just the corner at the very end of her hand does not have the glove. The glove is that's weird.
She said,
It's
"Fashion."
special. I mean,
So
with
Fashion
she
Week.
had, like, the beads, and she was edgy with the black and
Mhm.
the
I definitely tried to
leather,
dress like her. I
and
definitely
she
bought something that was black or red leather because of her.
yeah, and she had, like, those she always wore those
Ironically, probably at
hats.
this
Yeah,
yeah, ironically, I probably bought it at the, remember Wet Steel?
yeah.
RIP that store in the
Mhm.
mall. Oh my
Oh
god.
my god. Yes. What would you
Right
say
in the nostalgia.
ugh, I don't think I've ever shopped there. Probably because it wasn't my style.
I definitely did 'cause I
Yeah.
just, like, yeah, ugh, it was a
Mhm.
trip, and then I was so upset when they closed. I remember, I was like, "Oh, no."
Remember Charlotte Russe?
Yes.
Okay, they
That
still
was
have that
another
at the
big
mall,
store
I
for me.
think. Yeah.
They do. Mhm. It
I
closed
just
for a
think
while and then it opened
yeah.
back up.
But what was off topic, but, what was your first concert?
My first concert was at a venue that's not even open anymore. It was, Green Day in 2009 was my
Green
first
Day.
concert. Green
No,
Day!
that's
Yes,
awesome.
yes. Yes, I had a big Green Day well, I still listen to them, but it was like I had a quote unquote well, my friend more so than me, she had a quote unquote emo phase.
I think
So that's
everyone
all we
does.
were listening to. Yeah, I mean, you all have a cringe phase.
Yeah.
It's just like the variety of what type of cringe it is, but mine was like $2 like eye eyeliner pencil from the dollar store. I remember I was like it was
Of
literally like an
course, yeah.
eyeliner pencil that needed a pencil sharpener to, like, get farther down the
That's how you
when it
know
got
it's, like,
dull.
cheap.
And it was bad because it would just, like, smudge, and I definitely looked like a raccoon for, like, a year in grade
Nice.
in grade school. But, yeah, I saw Green Day at a venue that doesn't even exist anymore, and it was literally the last concert that ever took place at that venue.
Well, was it for a specific album, or is it just like, "Oh, they're just having a
Yeah, it
concert?"
was for was it American Idiot? I wanna say American Idiot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yep. So that's wild. But it was a good time. I remember there was, people I went with one of my childhood best friends and my mom and my dad, and my mom
I
had
love
to
how your
find
parents were there.
yeah, my mom specifically got earplugs because she was like, "I can't handle all that." That's what she said.
Yeah,
"I
I
can't
could it
handle"
makes sense.
and we had earplugs too,
Oh,
me and my friend.
American
My
Idiot.
my dad was just like, "You know what? If I
It's
lose my
fine.
hearing, I lose my hearing."
Oh,
And
great.
it was loud. There was actual explosions, like, in that concert, like, there was, like, fire,
Oh,
they had a lot of pyrotechnics, so there was a lot of explosions that went on, and that's why they were probably just like, "Well, this is the last show that's ever gonna take place at
yeah,
this
might as well
venue, so
just
they're like, 'Fuck it,
mhm.
who cares?'"
See, I
But, yeah,
never
and I
really
remember we got that was
listened.
the first time I ever got merch, like a shirt
Yeah.
from a concert, so that was a big deal.
I definitely got merch at that concert.
Yeah. There was people there there was a tall kid, I'll never forget, there was somebody in front of us that kept jumping up, and half of the time we had to, like, move to a seat next to us because we couldn't see.
And back then, you were even shorter because you were younger, so, like, it
Exactly,
really didn't
exactly, so
help
we
you.
ended up, like, half of the time, like, standing in the aisle
Yeah.
because we were, like, towards the end of the aisle anyway. Because shout out to my friend, I don't wanna say her name, but she has a, she goes to the bathroom a lot, she has to pee quite a lot, so we were like, "We gotta be on the end," like,
Nice.
so I ended up
Yeah.
getting things on the end, so half of the time we were, like, standing in the aisle and just, like 'cause we couldn't see, 'cause this
Yeah.
kid, I'll never forget, he had curly red hair, and it was, like, big hair, so on top of he was tall, and then on top of that, he had curly red
Like,
hair, and we
actually
were like,
red
"I
or, like,
can't."
he's like a
Yes.
redhead or like dyed like red?
Like ginger. No, like
Oh,
ginger.
okay.
Yeah.
I was
So
gonna
then he
say,
was driving
imagine him also having like the bright fox red like dye.
at a Green Day concert, that wouldn't be an
Yeah.
unlikely thing to say.
Wait, so
But
I
I don't
was
know, we were definitely, like, probably one of the younger, like,
yeah.
people. That was also in 8th grade for me because that was 2009.
Yeah, and the
So
album came out in 2004. So I
so
wonder
no,
if
it was probably the album after that then. It was probably 21st Century Breakdown then. When did
oh,
that come
okay.
out? They had American Idiot songs,
Because
but
they
let me see.
probably because most of those songs are so popular that they probably have to play them.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah,
21st
their set
century.
list was pretty long
Yeah.
because it just goes through, like, a whole thing.
And
Yeah,
this
that
is
came out in May. Mhm.
yeah,
It definitely was
2009.
21st Century Breakdown, so excuse me, but because
And
that came
I
out in May, and then I saw them in September of 2009.
I love like with pop and like punk and their song titles are just
Mhm.
always really weird.
Yeah,
Like,
and Green Day was like a story, like, literally 21st Century Breakdown told, like, a story of, like, these 2 different people, and it goes through, like, it was, like, the first time I listened to, like, a concept album,
yeah,
you know?
because like the
It
one
wasn't just, like,
song,
random songs.
yeah, the song before the lobotomy,
Mhm. Yep.
uh-huh.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
East Jesus Nowhere.
And as you're saying them, I'm still like, see, this is how I know that I listened to them, and they became such a big part of my music taste for a while because as you're saying the songs, I can hear them.
Yes.
I know
Horseshoe.
exactly what they sound
Oh
like.
yeah, horseshoes and hand grenades.
Uh-huh.
It's so the song titles. And then same with Mayday Parade, if you've ever listened to any of their songs.
I haven't, but I've had a lot of that was a they were big in high school.
Oh,
I
I
remember a lot of
still
people
to this
talking about
day,
Mayday Parade. I did not listen to them.
they're probably my favorite, one of my favorite bands.
Mhm.
And their album, like their songs, I gotta see. So they have an album called Monsters in the Closet, which is my favorite one.
Okay.
All of their song titles, almost all of them, are extremely long. One's called
Yeah, like
Even
a whole
Robot. Yeah, Even Robots Need Blankets. Um,
oh,
and then
well, maybe they do. We don't
here,
know.
and then they have one called The Torment of Existence, weighed against the horror of non-being.
Oh boy.
And in every single album, there's always at least one or two that are like really long titles, and you're like, why is like the pop
Mhm.
punk era like their song titles don't make any sense. It never matches
Mhm.
what the album title is most of the time. Like, where is this coming from?
Yeah, I mean, I think of like what is that? Oh my god, like, I just think of, like, other bands that have, like, longer titles like that, like
Oh,
Fall Out Boy,
Fall
and
Out
then
Boy,
who
and
else
then
am I
Panic
Panic
at
at
the
the
Disco.
Disco.
Yeah.
That's who I was thinking of, okay. 'Cause isn't there one song, like, who has the song that's like, "I write sins, not tragedies," that's Fall Out
Oh,
Boy,
Panic at the
right?
Disco.
That's Panic at the Disco? Okay,
Uh-huh.
never mind. That was an
Those
album, right?
yeah, that was the song. I don't know which album it's
Mm.
from, but that's the one where he like finds his, I guess, the bride's
Oh,
making
that's
out with
the
somebody else.
I chime in
Yeah,
with having 2 people, yeah. Mhm.
which is like,
Theirs are kind of shorter compared to I definitely thought they were way long oh wait, there's another one that says the only difference between martyrdom and suicide is press coverage.
huh?
That's a song title from the same album that, I Write Sins Not Tragedies is on. It says the
Interesting.
only difference between martyrdom and suicide is press coverage. Okay.
Okay.
And they
Yeah.
also okay, that whole album has a lot of these. Because then there's another one that's, I definitely have heard people use this as, like, Instagram captions, the song title, "Lying is the most fun a girl can have without taking
Oh,
her clothes off."
yes.
Yeah.
And they
That
have
was in a
one,
movie too, that was in, like, a movie too.
yes,
I think they might have gotten that from a movie.
and then there's one, build God, then we'll talk. Okay,
Oh god, that
then we'll
was
talk. I
okay.
don't, I very confused with titles.
Yeah, I mean, pop punk was, like, a big
Yes.
thing. Like, it still kind of is, differently, so, I mean, I think one that's, like, similar style that came out, like, recently, like, 21 Pilots translated to me as, like, pop punk,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
mean, they were kind of like the similar feel of, like a Fall Out Boy or
yes.
Green Day, you know?
And
And
Green
Green Day's
Day,
still around.
it's
Green Day didn't
yeah.
go nowhere.
Oh,
I
no.
haven't listened to their recent stuff, but they just keep
They're everywhere.
releasing new things.
Yep.
I'm just like, "Okay."
Yeah, they're one of the long-lasting bands.
Mhm.
Yeah, it says they
I
started in 1987.
Yes,
That's
yes. Because if
crazy.
you look at, like, some of their first, like, music videos, they are young. Billy
Yeah,
Joe very, very young,
that's
so
crazy. That must have been a good concert, 'cause you like, the way they
Oh,
did
it was.
things.
It was, and honestly, kudos to my parents, like, they were that was, like, a hashtag cool parent moment because I know a lot of parents that wouldn't
Oh,
be, like,
yeah.
down to, like, bring their, like, 8th grade,
That's probably
you know what
why
I mean?
I was okay going
And that's
to.
probably why
Yeah,
they both needed to go. I'm pretty sure that's why because they were like, "Okay, we know it's, like, right there, but, like, we'll feel better if we all just go,
yeah,
so the both of us can just be there and
because
make sure that you guys are safe." Because it was just me and a friend of mine, like, I do know of people that were, like, grew up I think some people that I went to grade school with grew up a little too fast, and I
yeah,
feel like there are people that would've went by themselves, but I'm kind of glad that, like, my parents were there because it was, like ended up being, like, a funny moment of,
yeah,
like, my mom with her earplugs in, like, trying to not hear the explosions.
yep.
My dad's, like, just rocking,
I love how your
you
dad's the
know?
one that's kinda like, "Yeah, it's fine," and your mom's like, "Yeah, okay." I feel like,
She
yeah,
liked the music. She liked the music.
it's
She
just
was
a
just, like,
lot.
with loud noises,
Yeah.
she was very sensitive to she was like that when we went to go see, like, fireworks or, like, we had, like, the Mummers Parade and stuff like
Oh,
that, like, she
yeah.
was just not, like, sensitive to loud noises, I guess, especially there was literal, like, explosions
Yeah,
that
I'm
was
not surprised.
easily even, like, with now, like, the more advanced, like, set pieces and, like, pyrotechnics and all that, I still think that's, like, the loudest concert I've ever been to.
Yeah. I'm not
100% like
surprised because they
confident.
do everything much bigger and crazier.
Mhm. Yeah, and that was again, they were probably just, like, going ham because again, that venue that was the literal last event that that venue ever had. So they're probably just
They went
like,
out with
"Let's
a
have a
bang.
party." Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
What would you say?
Oh,
Because I've never actually listened to the album itself, but Green
mhm.
Day, I think my favorite Green Day song is probably Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
Yeah,
You
that's a
can't
good one.
That's always just a
Um,
classic.
I literally have a Green Day, not to out myself, but I literally have a Green Day, Spotify playlist
Nice.
that I do find myself still listening, and it's just called the, wonderful title of just Green, you know?
Green.
Just Green.
Just green.
But let me look and see because I have that playlist so I can pick.
Or just the song American
Do you
Idiot
want one
also.
specific do you want specifically from that, like, album for that tour?
Yeah.
Or, like okay. 21 Guns. Very good song.
Oh, yeah.
Very good
Yeah.
song. It was a single, and it was just, like it's a ballad, it's got a lot of good drums going on.
Yeah.
I love the music video, it's really cool. To this day, I will still, like, if I hear it, like, in public, it'll stop me
Yes.
and I'll just be like, "Oh, wait,
Yeah.
I know that song."
It's probably the only one from that album that I remember.
Mhm.
They also have one
But it
called
is good,
Murder
it's literally
City.
like an yeah, yeah, that's that was typical of them, they were
Mhm.
wild. Wild and crazy kids. No, but you know what's the wildest thing though? Not of this album, I think of American Idiot. They ended up later on, I don't know if you ever heard about this, but they actually made a musical out of American Idiot,
Yes, yeah.
and it was a whole, like, Broadway production for, like, a while, and I'm like, "Oh, wow." And I never got to go, but
I'm just
I don't think it's a thing anymore, but I thought that was it was like it's like how when, what's, like, certain musicals, like how Mamma Mia uses, like, all ABBA songs.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like a jukebox musical, so, like, they basically made, I guess, some type of storyline and just put their songs in there, but
Yeah,
oh.
and it says, "Is a sung-through rock musical based on the concept album of the same name by
Mhm.
Green Day.
Yeah.
After a run at the Berkeley Repertory Theater in 2009, the show moved to St. James on Broadway. The story
Okay.
expanded from that of
That
the
wasn't
album, and it centers on three disaffected young men, Johnny, Will, and Tunny.
mhm.
Johnny and Tunny flee a stifling suburban lifestyle on parental restrictions, while Will stays at home to work out his relationship with his pregnant girlfriend, Heather. Is that really the whole album? Like,
I mean, like, they do create I think that they probably had to, like, build an actual, like, full
yeah.
storyline for this, but in the album, they do reference, like, certain names, like, it'll say Jimmy or this person or that
Oh,
person.
yeah.
Yeah, and the other album is like that too, like, it keeps mentioning in 21st Century Breakdown, they mention, like, Gloria. A
Oh,
lot of the
yeah.
albums, the titles say, like, Gloria, so
Yeah, it was weird. One says Viva la Gloria, and then
mhm,
there's one also called Viva la Gloria, but it has like the question marks around it, and
mhm,
then in
yeah.
parentheses, little girl. So like you have
Yeah,
two
one's like that
songs.
one's like a
Yeah.
that one's like a it's weird, they kinda make it like a creepy, almost like lullaby, so that's why it's called, like, Little Girl.
Oh,
So,
ooh,
just a little context, but
yeah.
but it's a good album.
And
I
then
like the music, I still listen to this day.
so I remember so after the Demi concert,
Yes.
I went to Play On by Carrie Underwood. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
If you like country music, she's not like super country, so it wasn't like
Like
listening
country pop, I'd
country
say.
pop, so it wasn't like the boring songs about tractors and farm life. Uh, but it's pretty good.
I
And
got my
then
hat, I'm bringing
and,
country back.
my truck's around the
But
corner. Isn't there one like
there's some song that's like, "I got my truck, I got my hat, I'm bringing country back." I think that's like an
my
actual
boots?
something, I don't know.
I don't.
Boots.
Uh,
No, no,
but
no, it's just like a checklist, right? Boots, check.
check truck
Tractor, check,
check. Cowboy hat. Crap. Oh,
check.
it's on my head. Check. We're good.
Bringing country back, check.
Brought country back. Still working on it.
See, that tells the
Yeah.
story, you know?
See, that's all you need to know is just those
A
four
lot of times it's
things.
the same story,
It's the
but
same story,
the
just
story.
100 different ways. Don't worry, they bring country back. You don't have to listen
So
to,
if
yeah, you don't have to listen to the 800th album of the same guy. It's okay. But at least hers were kind of stories too, and she had good references to things.
it's good.
Um,
So if Demi was your first concert, out of all, I don't know how many you've said that you've been to, I know
oh
me,
yeah, I went to
I've
four
been to quite a
concerts.
bit.
I only went to four, which is not that much, but
No, I gotcha. It was just like
yes,
it's a lot of times it would just be like a group of like all of our friends kind of like going, and I went a lot
yeah,
with like my childhood best friends from grade school and all of that because we have a lot of similar music taste.
yeah.
But if you had to say, out of the concerts that you went to, what do you think is the best one? Like the most fun? I guess. I mean, they're probably all fun in
Hmm.
their own ways, but like if you had to pick ones, like this was peak. This is the best.
Well, I guess it depends because Demi's the first concert, so that was always like one of the best experiences. And it's her
Mhm.
first ever album, so you're getting to see like her at her prime.
Yeah.
Play On was good, and I liked the album. And my sister loves Carrie Underwood, so I've always grew up listening to her anyway. But then the third concert that I went to was, wait for it, I'm so hyped, Camp Rock 2, the final jam. And
You were
honestly,
at the final
I
jam.
was at the final, yes, and that
Did you get to do, step with them when they're like, "Dun, dun, dun, Camp Rock."
no, no, but you know what they did do? Well, multiple things. First,
Mhm.
introducing me, Nick Jonas sings it to like his crush from the other
Oh, yeah, yeah,
camp.
yeah.
It's very fast paced. So when you're
Mhm.
watching it, like he gets faster and faster and faster because she has to go. And they're like blowing the whistle and she's trying to rush to leave and he's still singing to her. So like in the movie, he's like playing the guitar really fast and he's going really fast. So I remember at the
Mhm.
concert, it was his turn to sing that song. Joe Jonas came out and just gave him like a random short amount of time and he was like, "You have 2 minutes and 6 seconds to sing the song," and then just walked off. And then he had like that short of amount of time to
No
sing it.
pressure.
No pressure. And so obviously he picked shorter than what the scene was in the movie, and Nick had to
Mhm.
sing it. Then And part of me wishes I was like more not anxiety ridden, but they had a thing where they were inviting people on stage to just be in the background pretending to like play the guitar when they're doing like certain songs. And
Mhm.
then if they selected you, you also got to sit backstage and like watch the
Oh,
concert.
that's wild.
And I just
That's actually
remember
wild.
like I was pretty close too, close enough where they
Mhm.
could have seen me, but I was too like anxious to be hype about it. But imagine if I did. Like I could have met the Jonas Brothers in Demi Lovato.
Wow.
And maybe I would say that was probably my favorite just because we grew up with Disney and
Right.
Camp Rock was huge and I already saw Demi and then you have the Jonas Brothers obviously.
Mhm.
And they were so popular and who doesn't love Nick Jonas? So I would
Right.
say that's probably my biggest one. My favorite one.
I think so, yeah. I mean,
Well, you went to a
I guess as
lot,
far as
right?
I know, it's like probably way too many. Concert tickets are not cheap, but you know, it's just like it's the thrill of like there's again, I said it in the beginning, but there's nothing like live music.
Yes.
I will say there's nothing like live music. Me and my fiance saw Bruno Mars. That was fun.
Oh, I
That
do
was really
remember. Yes. Yeah.
24 Karat Magic Tour
Oh, that's
too.
a great album.
Ooh, and his opener was none other than Boys to Men.
Ah,
Ooh, it was wild. Yeah, it was
voice.
pretty
Oh,
wild.
great.
Boys to Men. Yep,
Yes.
yep. And we got there like halfway in the middle of their set, but it was enough. I don't know many of their songs. I know, being from Philly, that's probably like really bad for me to not know
Sacrilege.
that.
Yeah.
But right, sacrilege. But it was a great experience. But I knew all of the Bruno songs,
Oh,
so.
yeah. And
And
I
it was
love,
that was a great dance concert. That was a concert where you looked
yeah.
around and nobody was sitting down.
Yeah.
'Cause it was, like, Bruno Mars, and he was just doing his thing. He has so much energy. I don't know how he
Yeah,
does
I've
it.
seen
He
like clips
really
of his like live
like, I know his
performances.
most
Yeah.
recent tour was that whole, like, the new, like, group that he's in with, like, Anderson .Paak. That
Yep.
was his most recent, like, tour. But
Oh,
when he was
yeah.
by himself, I was like he was just, like, on that whole stage. Like, I forgot there was backup singers and everything. I was just like,
Yes,
he's
and that
just
whole
doing his
album
thing.
is filled with like the best dance music.
Bops. Bops. Oh my
Yes.
god. Yeah. Yeah.
Finesse. Oh, too bad he didn't have Cardi B because Finesse
Oh
is a
my god, and
great.
I'll tell you why. No, 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 I remember because on the original ticket, it did say the opener was gonna be Cardi B. The reason why she wasn't there was because she was pregnant. That was why she wasn't
How
there.
dare she?
Because
What a
of the
baby.
timing, because of the timing. I know, but it was
Ah,
wild. That's why I didn't think that's probably why he got Boyz II Men for our concert too. Because I don't think they were
probably.
ever I think he, like, picked an opening act for, like, each,
Yeah.
like, native to, like, each, like, city, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so
Oh,
could've seen Cardi, that would've been wild.
because I know Finesse, they have a version without Cardi B in it, but the one with her in it, so good.
He played at one point, he played it, and he did
Yeah.
sing it, but he left her part in and just, like, let it play out, and he was, like, dancing
Nice.
during her
Yeah, he
verse, which
has.
it was cool that I got to hear it, you
Yeah,
know?
he seems like he has really good energy.
Oh my god, it was great. It was crazy. It was really good. I remember the, stage before he came out was, like, a giant, like, gold curtain, and it just had, like, a light shining onto the middle of the curtain that just had a giant bee in front of it.
Nice.
Like, a really cool, like, insignia, like, patterns around it. It was
Yes.
really good. That was a good concert. If I had to pick the best ones, it would probably either be that or probably when, just because I was a diehard stan of them for a very long time. I'm gonna
Yeah.
pick 2, concerts from, groups that have since disassembled
Past.
and are
Yeah.
no more. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. Did you hear my voice? I had to mourn it a little bit for a second,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, within I would say between the years of one of these took place in 2013, one took place in 2015. First in 2013 was when I saw One Direction on their Take Me Home tour.
I love. I'm not.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you were the biggest. Like, yeah,
I was in it. I was in it. My whole entire, like, bedroom wall
personality. Yeah.
was literally, like, you couldn't I lived in, like, a house at one point that was, like, from, like, the '70s, so it was, like, all wooden paneling, like, on the wall.
Oh, no.
And that was bad to look at, number 1, so I had an excuse to want to cover the walls anyway, but yeah, I was a
So you
big
just had
believer
Zayn
in going well, I
everywhere?
was
Yeah.
I had basically yeah, I had like, my favorites would change around, but it was pretty consistent, you know?
Zayn was always my favorite. I mean, I like them
Yes,
all, but I don't know, his voice and just his attitude and, like, how he is.
they inherit Nile, that
Yes.
it would fluctuate between the
Yep.
3 for me.
Mhm.
But, another best concert is from another group that doesn't exist anymore. They're all still
RIP.
pursuing solo
Yes.
careers, but in 2015, I'm gonna say, I saw Fifth Harmony,
Oh, nice.
and yep, and it was the last tour that they did with I think it's the last tour that they might have done, or the last tour at least before Camila
Yeah.
left.
Which,
So that was wild to see.
honestly, is fine.
Yeah, yeah, it was fine, but
I just
at the
never
time,
I just never really liked
no,
her.
yeah,
I don't know why,
that's
like,
fair.
I just couldn't
You
get
knew,
behind
you
her.
had the instinct.
Yeah.
You knew something was off.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was that was a wild concert because it was a good time. The opener was, none other than JoJo, not JoJo
Uh,
Siwa, not JoJo
no,
Siwa.
for
Let
all
me
those listening, they're
preface
like,
let me
"Oh."
preface
No,
let
she
me
was still
preface
on
no.
Dance Moms then, so she couldn't have been.
Right. I just need to preface because there was definitely a gap in who was aware of who this person was, but I'm
Oh,
talking about
yeah.
JoJo as in Leave, Get Out, Baby
Oh,
It's You,
oh,
Aquamarine, RV,
Aquamarine.
JoJo.
Yes. And I feel like
And
most
now
people,
she's
when you say JoJo, I think most people's
would
thoughts
say
do
JoJo
go,
Siwa.
yeah,
Mhm,
unfortunately.
mhm. Yeah, but, it's okay. It's that meme where it's like, "My your JoJo, my JoJo."
Versus my
It's
JoJo. Whose JoJo
right.
wins? Clearly
But
mine. Yeah.
it was wild because there was even at the time a gap between people that knew of her songs because I believe the girls from Fifth Harmony were like friends of hers, like fans of hers. So that's
Yeah.
probably why they wanted her to come on tour. And she was probably just like, yay, because she was going through a whole thing at one point with her um, music producer. Like she had like the whole thing about having to like re-record or like take back the rights to like her own music.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
whole thing for a while. So Scooter Braun is an asshole. Anyway,
Oh, Scooter
he
Braun.
did that. He did it to multiple people. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, basically, I have to buy back your own music, which is crazy to me. Like the fact that
Yes.
like this is my song
Is
and I
he
don't
did
own it.
he
What do you mean?
produce
What
did
do you
he
mean?
help produce Taylor's music?
Yes, Taylor
Okay.
is the. That's why she does all those
Yes.
re-recordings because
I
that
see.
was him that like tried to own the rights to her music. But yeah, so she at that concert though she sang "Leave, Get Out," and it was like me and like my friends were like hype because we grew up with her and we
Yeah.
like listened to her album like a bunch of times. And half of the audience, like, didn't know what was going on. It was just me and my
That's
friends just,
so
like, hyping.
sad because, like, her
I was
music.
I was upset. Some people knew, like, her newer things, which I'm like, "Okay." So at least they knew of her,
Yeah, but I feel like most people
but
have no I like, you say "Leave, Get Out," they're like, "I don't know what that is." But, like, she was peak during our
they need to be
childhood.
cultured.
Yes.
They need to be cultured.
Ah,
That album, her first album is still to this day, because
oh,
now
yeah.
there's, like, a re-recording, but now she, like, got the rights back to it, so I think she's allowed to, like, put it on, like, Spotify, so
Oh,
it's
good,
now
yeah,
actually on Spotify.
yeah.
It is such a good album. No skips. That first
Oh, yeah.
self-titled
Yep.
whatever, no skips.
You know,
But, yeah, I would say those are all my favorites,
what
just kinda
album
put them in.
was the Fifth Harmony
It
concert?
was 7/7/27. The one where they're kinda, like, all standing outside, there's, like, a blue background, and I think the, text is, like, silver. That was the album
Oh,
that had
yes, yeah.
let
Mhm.
me look at the track list, but I believe that was, like,
In the track
Worth It
list.
and all that. Or no, that was, like, when they had that song with, Fetty Wap. Do you remember that? Flex.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh, that
I'm
was a
just
great
where
song.
did he go?
Where did Fetty Wap go? I don't know. He was
Because
a big thing for a while, and then he was just
'cause
I
his
think
music was honestly, his music was
didn't
so good.
yeah, yeah, I really liked the song that he did with Harmony, but that was the, this album was the, Work From Home
Oh,
era.
yes. Mhm.
Do you remember that song?
Yes.
I know it got memed to death with that one live performance where they're, like, acting like they're doing, like they have, like, hammers and they're, like, barely
Yes.
touching it, like, you gotta look at
Uh-huh, and then
I think
who
you've seen
and then it was, who was it?
that
Was
they
it
had
Ty
bad
Dolla
management.
$ign? I think he was in
They
it.
had bad management. Yeah, he did, some song with them.
Yeah.
I don't think it was from yeah. Yeah, Work From Home was he
Yeah.
was,
I
the
just
feature on
remember
that, and
mhm.
then the next, single was the song with, Fetty Wap.
Yes.
Hey,
Honestly
iconic. I also have a playlist of their music that I listen to this day. Same thing
oh,
with One
me yeah.
Direction.
And then my
And oh my
favorite
god, little tidbit, not to, derail, but I was watching I forget it was a lip sync from, I wanna say season 9 of RuPaul, and she randomly used a song by Fifth Harmony. It was a
oh
Halloween song called "I'm in Love with a Monster," and I'm like, "Why is this here?"
my
Just
god, I
I
forgot
was, like,
about that.
freaking out. I was like, RuPaul goes, "You were asked to prepare a lip sync to I'm in Love with a Monster by Fifth Harmony,"
And you're
and
like,
I
"Huh?"
was like,
Yeah.
"Huh?"
Some of the song choices there, you're like, "Oh,
Nothing
okay."
could've the only thing that could've surprised me more is if they have a lip sync to a One Direction song, which I don't think ever happened, but you never
No,
know.
but can they?
Yeah,
But
maybe
my
in the future.
my favorite Fifth Harmony song, it was "Miss
I
Moving
have quite a
On."
bit. Yeah, that is a good one. They
That
started strong. They
yep,
started strong with a feminist girl group anthem
yes.
right away.
And it was also formed by Simon Cowell,
Mhm.
who did One
Yep.
Direction, so he knows how to make a good
Isn't that ironic that he was involved in both of those groups?
yes. You know who I'm surprised you didn't see back in the day? I feel like you would have been someone that saw Justin Bieber in his prime.
No, I did go
You
to a
did?
Justin
Okay.
Bieber Yeah,
I was like, you seem like someone that would have
yeah.
gone to like
I
a Justin
actually I actually not to be like I went a couple times to they would have, Q102, the
Oh
radio
god,
station, excuse
yeah.
me, would have Jingle Ball,
Yep.
every like, around Christmas time in December, and one of the years, like, my one of my childhood friends, her little sister, like, they were all my friends, but it was, like, the youngest of 3 sisters. She was obsessed with Justin Bieber, like, obsessed, like,
Uh-huh.
One Direction with me, but, like, times 25, I would say. She was great. Like, she would scream
Yeah.
over him. She was just oh my god. We basically got the tickets because we were like, "Oh my god, Justin's gonna headline." So that was the first time we saw him. And I remember we were at the concert and we're like jamming out and he's getting ready to I think it's like during his first song and we look to our left and she's literally like in the aisle trying to get down to the section
Oh
below
my
us, like just
god.
like we had to go like get her.
And
And
get
granted
her.
she was like I would say 12 probably at the time, so it's like,
That
but
makes
then
sense.
years later, I also went to a Justin Bieber concert with her. It was like his, was it Confident or something? I forget, like, around that time when he had, like,
Oh,
the
yeah.
song Confident, yeah. Or the As Long As You Love Me, I think it might
That
have been.
was a good era of Justin. I like
Yeah.
that. His newer music, I don't really get into as much, but
Yeah.
his
Yeah,
I would
there's been,
say,
like,
like,
a
his middle ground, like, his middle
mhm,
era, that was probably my favorite.
mhm.
And you know who I saw? So, I've only been to 4
So,
concerts, and, like,
yeah.
this is my biggest flex.
Yeah,
Don't
let's
listen
move
to
on to
them
biggest flex.
and I don't listen to this person, like, religiously. I'm not in the Beehive at all, but
There you go.
in
Honestly.
college, they were having, like, this thing where you can sign up, and they would pick a bunch of people, and if you won, you would get a discount on tickets to Beyonce. And then if you
Yep.
wanted to go see her and you didn't win, you can pay, but you'd be paying like the full price. And
Mhm,
so I think it was junior year, so like 2016. I was like,
mhm,
all right, like I'll sign up, and then you get 2 tickets for like $40 each
uh-huh.
for like Beyonce. Even though we were like far away, like still Beyonce tickets, like
Yeah.
imagine they're crazy expensive.
Yeah, and you only had to end up paying how much?
I think 40 for each ticket.
That's not bad
And
at
I
all.
wasn't even thinking I was going to win. So I
Yeah.
just remember I was like, "Oh, I'll put my name in." And our friend
Mhm.
who like roomed with us, she she was gone for the weekend. And so I
Mhm.
couldn't sign her up, but I was like, if I win and I get 2 tickets, like, I'll take her with me because you have to take someone that's currently in school. Like, you can't just take
Right.
whoever. So I was like, well, she's the
Right.
only person
That's
that I
decent, you
talked
know?
to, and you're not here, so I'll take her if I
Yeah,
win.
that was during my leave of absence
Yes.
before
And
I came
so
back
I
to
just
school.
remember I'm in, I think it was my
We would have
maybe,
had to draw straws for that one if I was
yes, or like flip a coin or something. But
I'd be like, "Please, I will clean your room for the rest of the year."
yes, and I think it might have been,
I would have had an
I
agreement with Bree.
yes, I think I was in C++ plus plus maybe because I did
Mhm.
technology, so I think I might have been in one of my coding classes, and I get the email that says you won the tickets and to come to, like, the
Mhm.
student office and, like,
Yeah.
you won 2 tickets. And I was like, "There's no way
No
that I
way.
just
But
only
way.
have to pay, like, 40 bucks for each ticket," or whatever price it was.
That's
And so
insane.
I'm in the middle of class, and I'm like, "You know what? Just gonna excuse myself." So I
Right.
just take my phone and I go leave and I call Bree and she's like freaking out because like I call and like, why am I calling? In the middle of the day.
Right.
And I tell her I won this ticket and
You
she's
know,
like,
it's something good. We
and I
won
was like,
Beyonce
and
tickets.
I told her we won Beyonce tickets. She's like, there's no way. And I was like, no, like literally I just got the email and
No
I like
way.
left in the middle of class to call you. It's
Uh-huh.
literally like 40 bucks like per ticket.
Mhm.
Like how insane is that for like Beyonce?
That's yeah,
During
I
like
don't think
and
anybody else even, like, when you buy the tickets outright, I think even the cheapest tickets are probably like, the nosebleed seats at the top of the venue are probably more than 40 bucks,
oh, I can
you know?
imagine they're, like, at least 100 or close
Yeah,
to it, and
yeah.
this is for,
Were
like
you guys on the floor?
no, we were, like
Okay.
it was at the Link, I think, so we were,
Yeah.
like, not
The
in the
Eagles,
nose we
yeah,
were in
the
between
Eagles.
the nosebleed and the ground. I don't know what floor
Okay.
that is, but we were, like, in the middle. And it was for
You have, like, a
Lemonade.
good view?
Yeah. Like, you can see her, and they had, like, massive screens, so even if you
Right.
were kinda far away, you could still see it, but it's for
I love that
Lemonade.
now. That's more common now in
Yeah.
concerts, like, even if they're up there, like, before it would be, like, if you couldn't see them, like, physically, you would just be, like you would hear people, but then you're like, "Oh, they look like ants just, like,
Yeah,
walking around,"
and
but
even
now a
back
lot of
then, because I'm pretty sure the Carrie Underwood concert had, like, a screen up, but
yeah, that's what
I
I mean,
felt
like,
like you
now,
could
like, if
barely see
you
it.
are not right.
Even with the screen, I felt like the quality obviously back then it was bad, but
Mhm.
2016, the quality's good. It's Beyonce, it's the Lemonade album, so
Oh, lemonade.
Lemonade, oh, I mean,
First
but
day I got him, I played him a song from that album.
and
I
did
was like
he love it? He did, didn't he?
he was looking up, yep.
Yeah,
So so,
it's it
real
was
recognize real,
yeah,
you know?
and obviously that album itself was so popular. 'Cause isn't that the one where she's, like, smashing the window with the bat?
Yeah, it's, that's one of the singles in it.
Yes.
But that's the song I showed Lemmy,
Yeah,
'cause I love that song.
and then obviously so
When TikTok came, I think of the title.
she sang songs from that album, and she did, like, Formation, and she had
Hold Up, by the way, that's the song.
yes, yep.
When she's in, like, the yellow smashing the cars, it's
Yes,
called
yes.
Hold Up?
And so she sang all those songs, did Formation with, like, all of her backup dancers, but then she sang Survivor,
Oh my god.
and then she sang what's
I
the
would've
other
passed
one?
out.
What's the other one from Destiny's Child?
There's a couple of different ones, there's, Bootylicious,
Oh,
there's,
Say My Name,
Say My Name,
Bootylicious.
yep.
And then she sang, songs, like, from her other like, her own albums, like, older ones.
Mhm.
Uh, Baby Boy, great.
Iconic.
Yes. And I'm
That must
not,
have been
like,
a
the
good time.
biggest Beyoncé fan, or at least not her recent stuff, but
Mhm.
when she did the Destiny's Child songs, I'm probably one of the only people that was, like, excited about it.
No, I'm sure. The one the there probably was not
Oh, yeah.
I would say, especially in, like, a financial field.
Oh, yeah. And it's so bad because it was raining,
Oh,
and
well.
and so we had, like, all these ponchos on, and just, like, great. Like, I still enjoyed it, but it's like worse because it's raining out.
Mhm. But the
Did
way
you?
that venue is, set up, like, if they're on stage, the rain, like, doesn't affect them, it
Oh
just affects
no.
the people in the
Yeah,
audience.
it's great.
Oh,
Do you have a favorite Beyonce song?
favorite Beyonce song.
She has so many albums. It's kind of hard,
I know, I was about to
but
bring it up.
I do like Love
Um,
on Top.
that's a good
That's
one.
that's probably my favorite from that album. But I don't know.
I think my favorite is you ever hear the song Countdown?
Yes. Yep.
That's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I love
Crazy
the
in
music
Love.
video too. I love the music video for Countdown.
Yes. And
You know what's
Crazy.
wild to me though? If you Crazy in Love, that was with the Jay-Z, right?
Yes. And they did that in White Chicks
Oh
when they're
yeah.
dancing at the club.
Uh, sooner or later, you will get to talk about white chicks on this
I will
podcast. I
talk about
promise.
White Chicks.
I
I
will.
will.
I
I'll
will
make it a
advocate.
point to talk. Honestly, we could do a whole comedy episode.
Mhm. I
'Cause
call bridesmaids.
oh
I'm
my,
calling bridesmaids.
I'm
I did it.
calling White
Here we go.
Chicks, which we already know I'm calling.
There we go.
Yes.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
Exclusive update. But
So in the next few
yeah.
episodes, and I just bring up White Chicks again. It's like,
You just keep
until we actually get to the comedy
just no
episode, I'm
matter
just
what
gonna
the topic is,
randomly talk about
and then
White
you're like,
Chicks.
"Wow, that sounds like something that happened in White Chicks." Anyway.
Remember the movie White Chicks? Yeah, yep. That happened in White Chicks.
Mhm.
That song,
Instead of
that
put
was
that
in
on
White Chicks.
that takes over, put that on a t-shirt.
That was in White Chicks. Put that on a t-shirt.
They just stole that from White. Uh, well,
I
if that's your, you would say that's your biggest concert flex though,
yeah.
right? Was the
Oh
Beyonce
yeah.
concert.
What was
Well,
yours?
mine is, it's similar to yours, how you had to, like, enter, like, a contest. So I'm on Instagram and I randomly get an ad from SiriusXM that I'm a big fan of Halsey. I've always liked her music. Always been a
Yeah.
fan for years, even since college. You know this. I even had her first album. I remember I had her first album literally just sitting on my desk. I never like had a CD player or a way to listen to it. It was just there. I
Yeah.
just had it on my desk. But anyway, I got an ad for SiriusXM that was like, she's gonna be doing these like exclusive like a small I don't know how they advertised it. It was almost like a radio concert thing, like, they were gonna be streaming it to, like, Sirius XM, and it was, like, a small show
Yeah.
that you can enter to be in or, like, get seats to. So, what I did was I was trying to enter they said there's 2 ways you can enter. You can enter online, or you can, write on, like, a little, like, postcard and, like, mail it in to them.
Mhm.
So I kept desperately trying to fill out the form online, and every time I did it, I was either on my phone, laptop, anywhere. It was just the page did not work. I could
Oh
not get
my
it to
god.
work. It was driving me nuts. It was driving me nuts. I don't know why. I would refresh. I would wait. I'd be like, okay, I'll check it tomorrow. It would still be weird and just look. It wouldn't. I couldn't fill out the form. It was just like malfunctioning the
Yeah.
web page for whatever reason. So then I'm like, well, they did say you could enter by like, putting your information on, like, a
Yeah.
little postcard, so I literally got an index card, the ones with, no lines on them. I
Oh,
wrote
yeah.
I handwritten an entry where you just I think you just had to do your name, where you're from, like, your age, and, like, what's your like, why should you be picked to go to the
Yeah.
concert, like, what's your favorite song, album, like, stuff like that. So then I just filled it out and I mailed it, and I'm like, probably nothing's gonna come from it."
Yeah.
And then about 2, 3 weeks later, I get an email from SiriusXM saying that I won to go to the concert, and it
I
was free,
free?
so I didn't have to pay
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't have to pay anything, I didn't have to pay anything, so I took one of my childhood friends with me, and it was, like, a whole thing where it started out like a dubious night because it was, like, the line was so long around the venue because it was at the Electric Factory, if you know where that is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it started out really bad because there was a line that literally, like, looped around the entire venue. I'm like, "There's no way that this many people are gonna fit in this ven" I'm like, it didn't look like it was gonna work. Then we got in, and we started and we were kinda towards the back, but I was able to I don't know why, I guess maybe this being short, like, came in our favor somehow, honestly, because we were kind of able to, like, move and finesse and, like, move around people,
Yeah.
and I ended up getting, like, in the middle of the pit, and the pit was, like, fine, like, nobody was, like, moshing, like, I guess she does have, like, kind of, like, intense music, but I guess
Yeah.
not to the point where it makes people wanna mosh. And
Yeah.
I think even if people did start doing that, she'd probably, like, not like that because she didn't want anybody to get hurt. Like, I just think she would react that way. But
Yeah.
nobody was moshing at all. People were just, like, vibing, just dancing, and I was able to get closer to see her than when because I had gone to I had seen her previously twice. I had gone to one concert when she did Hopeless Fountain Kingdom tour. I went and bought tickets to that and went,
Yeah.
and then I saw her at one of the years she did Jingle Ball. It was another Jingle Ball, not the same as the Justin Bieber one, this
Yeah.
was a different one later on, but, before when I paid to go see her, it was the ironic thing was it was so much farther away, and then this was a free concert, and I ended up being, like, really close to
That's awesome. Her music,
her.
man,
Yeah,
it
it was
hits
wild,
you.
and she never did a full the thing that gets me is those shows were few and far between because that was, like, right after she had, become a mom, so she had never even really toured. She never toured for that album, this most
Yeah.
recent album, but I got to hear the songs live because she just did, like, a random
One off.
show,
Yeah.
like, random I think she only did one here, LA, and I wanna say New York, and maybe Boston or Florida, like, somewhere else. She only did, like, 5 or 6 of these shows, so
That's awesome.
I
Cause then
feel I
yeah,
feel
it's a once in a lifetime, like, that's never gonna happen again.
Mhm, yeah, and I doubt like, now she seems like she's at a point where, like, she's more focused on, like, she might make more music, I'm not sure, but right now it seems like she's focused on, like, motherhood
Yeah.
and family, as she should be, that's fine
Oh,
to do
yeah.
that too, so I'm like, I'm fine to, like, wait, I'm like, "Queen, you take your time and
Take
hey,
your
it's
time.
your life. It's
Yes.
her life, you do" you know what I mean? Ugh, but, like, yeah, that felt wild going to that, and, what was I gonna say? And you know what was wild too, is that was right around that was September after, you know the song, from that got really big from Stranger Things, "If I could make a
Oh,
deal with God."
yeah, yeah.
She randomly decided to cover that night too. So I
That's
got
crazy.
a cover of her singing that song, and I have the video on my phone, and I was like, she's never like, that's not a thing, like, she never released, like, an actual cover of that.
Yeah.
It never became, like, a full recording or anything, so
Do
that
you
felt really special, and that was my flex.
do you have a favorite album?
My favorite, probably the most recent one that she did because it was just, like, such an insane I mean, it was produced by just to give you a little, like, peek of the intensity of it, it was produced by the guys from Nine Inch Nails, who have
Oh,
also
yeah.
yeah, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, who have also mostly been doing, like, movie and film scores now, which is also, like, wild that they've taken that turn in their career from, like,
Yeah.
being in Nine Inch Nails. But, yeah, they produced that album, and it's great. It's you talk about a concept album, she's got a whole movie attached to it
Yep.
too. So it's wild. But I just love, like, the artistry of it and the lyrics and just, like, it's intense and it's great music, and I just her music just takes me somewhere
Oh,
else, you know
yeah.
what I mean? It's just, like, incredible.
Yeah, a lot of her songs are
She's
like
probably
that.
my favorite female artist,
Mhm.
honestly. But, yeah, that was a big concert flex, and then probably the only other one that I have is, when me and my fiancé and a couple of his friends, went to go see, Phil Collins in DC for the Genesis
So
tour. Yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
and
mean,
it was like,
his music is just
"Oh, it's
will
great."
always
I
be
got introduced to it from Tarzan,
oh, yeah.
the Tarzan soundtrack.
And I always see that meme where it's like, he didn't have to go that hard.
Mhm,
Or it'd be like, "Oh,
and
this is
and then
like"
the piano's, like, on fire.
yes, and it's like, "Oh, this is like a story about, a lot," or like, whatever it is, and then, "I got you," and then it
It's
goes
like, "I
hard.
got you."
"I got you."
Yep. Oh, man. Do you wanna talk about any upcoming concerts that we have?
Here's the meme again. Like, I actually found the meme. It says, "Disney, remember, Phil, it's a story about a guy raised by gorillas. Nothing too crazy." And then it shows the
Mhm.
picture of the piano on fire.
Uh, And then
Yes.
he did the same thing for it's more underrated, but he did the same thing for the soundtrack of Brother Bear.
Brother
And it was
Bear?
basically mhm, yep, Brother Bear. That was also Phil Collins. He has an insane ballad in
Yes.
that soundtrack. Because when I was, younger, I used to go on, like, the Disney, it was like the Disney Channel, like, the actual, like, website for the Walt Disney Record Company or whatever, and they would have, like, sound bites of, like, all the, like, soundtracks, so, like, I didn't wanna buy all of them, so I would just go on the website when I was a kid and, like, listen to them on that website,
Yes.
and the Brother Bear soundtrack was on there. There's another thing, it was like, "You didn't have to go that ham,
You
Phil,"
didn't
but
have to.
he did.
And
He
there's
did
a
that for
and
us.
there's a meme, and it's Michael Scott from The Office, and it says, "I'm gonna make this way harder than it needs to be." And it's just in reference to the Phil Collins.
Like this way for
So,
hey.
yeah. Well, who didn't you say was that the one with Rick Astley in it? Didn't you
Oh
say
my
that?
god, yes, 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 yes. So that's my other if I have another, concert flex, and that's, when I saw New Kids on the Block with my sister. We went
Oh,
to go see
yes.
New Kids on the Block, yeah. I grew up listening to them because of my sisters. My sisters were that was their One Direction,
Mhm.
basically. Um, and my one sister, because I've 2 sisters, and, one of them was everybody had, like, their favorite too. So my older sister, her favorite was, Donnie Wahlberg, who is you guessed it, Mark Wahlberg's brother.
Yes, and he's married to Jenny McCarthy.
Mhm. Hollywood, baby.
Yes.
And then my other sister really liked, his name was Joey. And he was
That's a
Joey no,
typical
I don't
boy
know I
band
no,
name.
here's the funny part, though. I said Joey, like, with the Italian accent, and the guy's last name is McIntyre. He couldn't do it.
Well, I just
But yeah, they,
mhm.
we went to that, and then it was like a basically like a '90s concert in general because it was New Kids on the Block, they were the main act, but then they had some, acts that would kinda, like, basically, like, switch out and randomly, like, pop in and out and do different songs. No New Kids on the Block did the majority of the concert, but then, it was also featuring Salt and Peppa, if you know.
Oh,
Yep.
yes.
And Vogue, which is another amazing girl group from the '90s. But, and then another random I don't even know if his song I feel like his song came out in the '80s, but maybe it was also popular in the '90s or he had more, I don't know. But Rick Astley was there, and I got Rickrolled live.
Yes. Yeah, it was from the
Mhm.
'80s.
And I have a video of it, so
You should
probably put
post
that on
that.
the gram.
Yes.
Mhm. Yep, yep. I got Rickrolled live, and I had to explain it was really funny because I had to explain to my sister what Rickrolling is because she
Oh, 'cause
knew
she's
of the
older.
song.
Yeah.
Right, right. Well, doesn't know of that meme, at least didn't until I explained it,
Yeah.
but I was like, "We got Rickrolled," and she was like, "What do you mean?"
Huh?
I
He's
was
just
like
singing, I don't understand. That's amazing that he just came out there and was that the only song he sang?
he sang some other song, but I
Yeah.
didn't know it,
I don't think he
"Never Gonna
has
Give You
very
Up" is the
many
but
other
no, I
music.
think yeah, I was surprised he came out, he kept coming out, and my sister was like, "What other songs does he have? Why does he keep coming
I
out? I don't
know,
know."
there's nothing else.
But he sang "Never Gonna Give You Up" probably, like, throughout the concert, probably, like, a couple of times. Because the one time he sang it by himself, but then the last time, it was, like, you know how, like, at the end of a concert, like, they have, like, the final song and, like, there's, like, confetti going everywhere, like, it's that, like, the closer of, like, the
Yeah.
whole concert? So that was what it was "Never Gonna Give You Up," but everybody else was singing it. So, like, New Kids on the Block was singing it, Salt and like, they were just everybody just had microphones,
Because
it was
it's
just
like
singing.
it's one of those songs where it yeah, you have to sing. Like,
Mhm, and that's the video I have, like, everybody's just, like, dancing, like, it was honestly kind of like I was having fun, but I know my sister was probably even having, like, 10 times more fun because she was basically, like, all
yeah.
these groups and acts that she grew up with were, like, just all on stage together, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, those are my concert flexes,
You have some
and
good concerts.
goddamn hey, I count myself lucky, and we have some good shows that we're going to, so when those happen, we'll cover them on the pod as well.
Yes. Do you wanna say
Yeah,
where we're going, or do you wanna wait?
we'll keep them guessing. We'll wait.
Alright. And I like how it's like, our that's the 3% in Mexico, I'm telling you, they're locked in.
They're locked in.
Thank you,
Hola.
Mexico. You know?
Hola.
Hola. That's all I know.
Uh, yeah. 4 years of Spanish down the drain.
down the
Ooh, anyway.
drain. It didn't go anywhere. And then,
Uh,
well, I only had to take it one semester in college because they make you take that test beforehand to see
yeah,
where you're
mhm,
placing. So you can select what language you would want to take and then take the placement test. And if you do well enough, you might not even, they just pass you. And
mhm,
I took it 3 years in high school. So I'm like, I got this. Still needed to
right,
take it. I guess my Spanish depleted for a little bit there, but only one
yeah.
semester. So, hola to you people. I was scrolling
Let me
through.
try to see. I was trying to find a Facebook memory for this
Oh,
week.
I have one, and
You have one?
it's
By all
in
means, please.
reference to a movie,
Okay.
but you wouldn't know that just by me reading it. So, 13
Mhm.
years ago, 2011, WWJD.
You know, short
And,
and simple, to the point,
and
you
like,
know?
again, no one, unless you've seen this movie 1,000 times, you're not going to know what in reference to like what movie it's from. So like me just reading that, you're like, oh, maybe she's religious. I'm not religious. Um, it's from the Medea movies.
Oh god. I thought you were just straight up just saying, like,
No,
WWJD.
it's in reference to. I think Medea goes to jail is where she says it.
Oh, 'cause she was I've never seen it, but I would assume it was
Yes.
because she was, like, praying to get out of jail, maybe? I don't
No,
know.
it's she's just.
Oh.
They went. I think they went to church. Oh no, no, she's driving home from the courthouse,
Oh,
and
okay.
I think she got out of going to jail the first time, and her daughter's driving her home. And then um, her daughter says, "You said in the courthouse that if you got out of this, you would go by the church." And then Medea goes, "Yeah, I did." And she's like, "Right." And Medea's like, "Just now, like we just drove by the church." So it was like a whole funny bit. And someone cut the daughter off. And the daughter's like getting upset, but obviously she's religious, so she's not going to do anything about it. And
Right.
then Medea, of course, steps in and she's like nuts. And then she like puts her foot on the gas of her daughter's car and like takes off. And she's like, WWJD. Anyway, you have to see it to understand it, but it's a pretty good movie. But that's what it was in reference to. Just in case
That
you're
was a lot
wondering.
there was a lot of lore to that. I'm
Yes.
I'm glad I got the backstory.
Yeah, you gotta watch the movie because otherwise, if you're just looking at it, you just think I'm religious. And I'm not.
You never let them know your next move, you
Yeah.
know?
And I
But,
got a whopping no likes on that. So
I'll go back and like it right now.
yeah, go back 13 years to my Facebook.
But, this cracked me up because it's from 2011, but I just sound like an old lady on
Oh
Facebook
god.
complaining. I said I probably know why I was pissed about this in retrospect, but let me just I said, on May 18th, 2011, I said, "Seagulls in my backyard? Really?" I know why I was pissed. I was probably pissed because I probably wanted to be at the beach and couldn't be at the beach for whatever reason.
I love
So I was
how
probably like, "Why are there seagulls in my backyard?" But actually, I don't know how much you've been around seagulls, but they will steal your food. They will
oh
straight up steal
yes.
your
That's why I'm always like cautious when I'm on the boardwalk because
Mhm.
every time I get french fries, they're all just like on my ass and I'm like, oh my god, no.
Just the joys of going to the Jersey Shore.
Just yeah, go to the Jersey Shore and get attacked by seagulls. Or
I
shit
remember
on.
last year or shit. Get the
Because they
true
do
exp
that. Get
get
the
the
true
get the
experience.
true short.
Let them eat your food and let them shit on you.
Why am I picturing that in, like, the voice of, like, the over voice that, like, announces things at the boardwalk? They're like,
Yes.
Get the seagull experience."
Or like the thing that's like watch the tram car and it's like the robotic
Mhm.
get shit on.
Yeah, yeah, but, funny, just a little tangent about the, tram car, they're actually thinking about, changing that to quote unquote sound more polite. I'm like, excuse me,
How
what do you
more
mean?
polite can you get? It says, "Watch the tram car,
It says
please."
please.
It
But I
does
guess
kinda
some
sound
but I
like,
guess some people think it has like a cunty voice. Like
well, it
just like
kinda does.
watch
After,
the
like,
transcribe, please.
after the 3rd time, it does kinda sound like it got cunty, which it's not. It's the same voice every time. But I guess
Yeah.
hearing it, like, 3 or 4 times, you're like, "God, I get it." Like,
It's also like it's
yes.
probably has to do with the fact that they have like the blaring speakers outside of the train car
Yes.
that are just very loud.
As if you can't see the slow-moving tram car coming
Mhm.
in your direction.
I guess maybe they have to do it for people that are, like, hearing impaired just to make sure
I
it's
guess
as loud
so.
as possible.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I was definitely pissed that, I was probably maybe I was trying to, like, eat something in the backyard and they were, like, fucking with me. I don't know what was happening, but
Yeah, you're just trying to, like, sunbathe in your backyard and couldn't.
oh, yeah, yeah. Get the crisp tan that I always
Yeah, we're pale and we're
we did have,
pasty, so
I remember the one year it was, like, those, like, really, like, shitty inflatable pools. Not the ones that were, like, plastic, but, like, the actual, like, inflatable pool that you would get from,
uh-huh.
like, Toys R Us. We got those a couple of years in a row, so maybe it was one of those years. I don't know, maybe they were fucking
So
with me,
yes.
but I was pretty pissed at Seagulls on May 18th, 2011. So,
And on what day? I forget what the exact day was, but in 2011, I asked Facebook, "What would Jesus do?"
hmm,
So, think about
and did
that.
you ever find out?
No, to this day, I don't know what he would do.
To this to this
He would turn the other cheek,
well, it's
you
it's a
know?
lifelong
It's a life.
journey.
Yeah,
Put that on a T-shirt.
put that on. Yeah, I need to make just a compilation of all the times we said put that on a t-shirt. Like, we said at least, like, once or twice an episode. Just need to
Mhm.
compile a video of just us saying that. It's so
Catchphrase of
funny.
the pod, you know?
Yes. But I think that's
Ugh,
good.
yeah, that's a good place to
Yes.
end
Because
it.
otherwise, we'll just keep ranting. That's our
We've
problem.
really went through
Well,
the
yes.
like, probably, like, a good amount of the concert timeline of our
Yes.
lives, you know?
Yes.
The
But,
highs and lows, the flexes and the some in the rain, some
oh,
not,
God.
you know?
Yes.
But
And
yeah,
then
check
when
out
we
all
go
of
to
our
our next
socials.
concert, we'll definitely
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about it. Because that one's going
Oh,
to
we
be
definitely
great.
have to have a whole, like, episode on that. That's gonna be a trip.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see what we're talking about when it happens.
Oh, yeah.
We also have a lot to talk about with that because we could talk about the album, we could talk about, like we could talk about the outfit that we get together,
Oh, yes.
you know? So,
Yes.
I can imagine that's definitely gonna be I mean, just, from the other shows that I've seen on this tour, um, the outfits like, seeing the outfits at the concert are, like, half the fun.
Yes.
So we'll keep you up to date on that, but
Yes.
check us out on Spotify, check us out on Apple. We have
Yes.
our link tree with all the goodies,
Yes.
you know?
Instagram,
Mhm.
TikTok,
We're on the
multiple
talk,
accounts.
we're on the
Yes.
talk.
Follow us everywhere. Thank you to our 3% of Mexico listeners. We
Yeah,
love you. I know, like, the rest of it's just the US. It's literally the USA and then like 3% Mexico. And you're like, okay.
and we're hoping that nobody clicked on it by accident. We hope that these are
Yeah.
genuine,
Yeah, they
genuine,
are. That
purposeful
3% is holding us.
views.
Yeah. That 3% is really getting us those views. So thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Bye.
Everybody have a good week, and we'll
Yes.
see you in the next one.
Bye.
You'll hear us in the next one, you
You'll
know?
hear us. You won't see us for a while.
You
I'm
won't see us
not
for
I'm
a
not
while.
camera ready. No thanks. I don't even have a camera. So no no.
Maybe someday.
Yeah, once I like look okay. Like I'm my no no no.
Hey, keep them guessing, you know?
Yes.
Just listen to the sultry sound of our voices.
That's ASMR. Just a whole episode
Ah.
just of us whispering the entire time.
The ASMR pod is, brewing. It will be
Yeah.
coming out soon.
Next episode. Just
Yeah. Well, well, catch you guys on the flip side.
bye.
Ah.